Alright, VHR, this is the mechanics for Aknor and Kagraz. What we're going to be talking about is the mechanics and the general movements that you have to do throughout the fight. Aknor is kind of a mini-boss, and your DPS, as far as how they state it at this point, they should be burnt down within about 20 to 30 seconds of the engagement. Needs to be tanked in a position facing away because of devastating slam. He also has another attack called dropping the hammer, which is a random range attack, and that's why we're going to do a 7-yard spread throughout the entire encounter up to 100 energy at Firestorm. Melee and the tanks can all be together. Melee basically behind the tank. I'm sorry, tank, then it'll be boss, then melee. Other tank will be right next to him with Kagraz. We're going to hero at the start so we can maximize damage into him and get him down as properly as we can, and then deal with Kagraz as it goes through each one of the energy fluctuations that they have. Now, Kagraz has got 4 mini transitions based on their energy level, but prior from 0 to 25 energy, they have Lava Slash and Enchanted Armament. Lava Slash is a random range line attack with a 7-yard AoE that if it hits anybody that's within the 7 yards, then an additional attack will follow immediately afterwards, and you will see it concurrently doing on every 15 seconds. Second attack is the Enchanted Armament. Enchanted Armament is the attack that's going to sit there and affect the ground and basically mess with your layout as far as where you want your team at and cause additional movement. That happens every 45 seconds. Basically, it's going to random target an individual. They need to move once random targeted because that area will become affected. An Enchanted Armament will land in the area and start doing a spinning fire attack permanently throughout the entire fight. Now at 25 energy, they're going to rotate into Molten Torrent. Molten Torrent is a random range attack that's going to be placed on one of our ranged DPS or healers. At that point, you have 6 seconds to run to melee. Melee is going to be in a position directly behind Ka. At that point, an 8-yard split AoE attack is going to happen after 6 seconds. We need to make sure that we have ground effect healing going on at that point. Now at 50 energy, Ka is going to summon the Cinder Wolves. They're a linked mob with a fire chain between them, which can affect, so we have to be careful when we're grabbing the mobs, because a tank can only grab one of them, and then the other one is going to target onto someone and start chasing them. So what you have to do is make sure that when you're the one that's being targeted, that you move properly and don't draw the line through. The other tank is going to be the other pivot point. So what we have to make sure we do is that we properly pivot them into a position where we're able to deal with them without them causing additional damage. They also have to be killed within 8 seconds of each other, or the other one will become revived, and then the process will continue on. Now, this leads to 75 energy, which is Blazing Radiance. It's a random debuff AoE. When you get it cast upon you, what you want to make sure that you're doing is that as soon as it's done, you need to get out of the group as promptly as you can, because every 2 seconds you're going to pulse, and this format lasts for 10 seconds. Then the last effect is 100 energy, and that's Firestorm. This is a raid-wide AoE, so at this point, because we've already dealt with all the other mechanics, we have the Cinder Wolves, they'll be down. If they're not down by the time you get to 75 energy, you're going to be dealing with Blazing Radiance on them, and also from the Cinder Wolves, so you're going to have multiple effects going on that can cause a lot of AoE damage, especially if they're in the group. But once they're all down and the Firestorm occurs, we're going to group up in a loose stack, 1-2 yard spread. So basically what we'll have at that point is range move in with melee, and we're going to do AoE heals, and we're going to have to set up a cooldown rotation for that point. Now upon 0 energy, because it gets dissipated at 100, the process starts over, and you go through it all again until the boss is dead. But during the time period from 0 to 25 after the first rotation, there's going to be 2 new additional effects that will be brought in. One is going to be the Magma Monsoon, which is a thrown lava. It's random, lasts for 30 seconds. And it's going to be thrown at individuals all over the place, so your best bet is to just look for the ground effect and then move out of it as promptly as you can. The next is Flame Fury, which is a tank debuff. Now, I'm not 100% sure if the Flame Fury starts at the beginning where there's 0 to 25 energy, so you start doing swaps right off the bat when the stacks are there, but it lasts for 40 seconds, and they're recommended to do a swap at 4 to 5, and that's listed for Heroic, so I imagine we could probably go a little bit higher on Normal when we attempt it tonight. But at the same point, let's just make sure that we look for it and do the proper swaps as we need to. I'll be putting together our layout as far as how we're going to deal with the encounter on the next video. If you enjoy the video, please click like. I'm going to cover tank responsibilities on the next one, damage dealer responsibilities, and healing responsibilities for the fight. Thanks again for watching.